the system.
Can you
Okay.
say that again, what they need?
Okay. We need a person who can speak with the business, understand the processes, and make some recommendations. Provided them some recommendations. They bought many companies, and now they are having different processes with different teams, and they report to different areas. So that's the issue. So what they need is a program manager person who can create, define, and manage like a strategically their different process to improve the integrations and the process across all the companies. So the basis system is Oracle. So that's why they told me about Oracle. So because this is the basis system. Um, but yeah, but for sure, what she told me is okay. But you have experience with SAP, so you can provide them your experience in ERP. Uh, keep in mind that uh, it can be similar processes and what is important here is the experience, not the ERP that you know. So you need to yeah, you can say to highlight your experience. How can I say that? Yeah, highlight. How can I say resaltar? Yeah,
Highlight.
highlight, highlight. Yeah,
That like
you need to highlight.
I would like to highlight your experience. Something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Yeah, correct.
So you would say, I would like to highlight my experience. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So why do you think you fit the role now that you understand a little more about it?
I think I fit for this role because I've been managed different kind of these projects. I already know many different companies from different industries, and yeah, across the companies where I implemented in my past experience. So mm, I was in charge to define those processes across one or many companies in the company or in the group companies. So I think I can provide some uh, good points or yeah good ideas to improve the processes across the companies. Uh, I'm able to see probably what they are doing different in the different companies because I'm able to analyze those kind of processes. So I think it is something that I can manage. I think to be honest with you, so I think it is something that I like to do in the company, define, understand the processes, understand the challenges that they are having, and provide them some key insights to improve them or to improve the integrations, for example. Uh, yeah, I think my biggest challenge for this position, I think is the language, right? Mm, because for example in a meeting I need to understand the processes, but I also understand what they are saying, what they are trying to
To
tell me,
express.
right? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I need to keep in mind both sides.
But
um
I mean, you can use that to your advantage because that saying being able to overcome language barriers has also made me understand the importance of communicating effectively and not only jumping into conclusions from first let's say perspectives, assumptions, but really getting in depth to clarify the exact message. That went out nice. But what that means is that so you're gonna use that in a way like how I'm able to understand what the different business need is because when I communicate, I'm always focusing in having clarity, certainty, and objectivity. So in that way, you know, maybe going like having that barrier
Having focus.
has become in a strength. So honestly, that's for me. That's how it was years ago. Do you understand the idea?
Yeah, yeah. You took three different points. So I'm being focused in objectivity. The other
Clarity
two, clarity. Okay,
and certainty,
what's that?
certeza.
Okay,
So what I mean is like, okay, we're certain that we're going on the direction that we want to go. But again, it could be another adjective. It could be another thing that you need. But yes, you're saying this helps me, focus when I'm communicating in meetings to be much more like to be thorough. Do you know what that means?
through
Thorough.
like okay. I think it's yeah something like credibilidad, something like that.
Mm-mm.
No,
Thorough. Let me give you a thorough.
are you spelling that in the chat? Or
Yes, one moment. Thorough. Have you heard of that?
okay, let me just do that.
Es exhaustivo o exhaustiva.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay.
So what I'm saying is that you like what I think your mindset should be about this communication. Like, don't see it as a
Mhm.
barrier, or understand that being it a barrier, you've been able to learn how to communicate better,
Yeah, correct.
to be thorough in your communication and really understand the business needs. The other thing I said is not to jump into conclusions. O sea, no desde un primer inicio como saltar a ¿cómo se dice en español? Saltar a conclusiones, a
Conclusiones, sí, sí, sí.
asumir cosas. So yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that would be the recommendation on that, right? How can you
Yeah,
speak a little more? So I think by yesterday, I understand that you have like the information. You mostly use the information correctly. What I mean is like, I think you have the knowledge, and for sure the experience. But what I can probably feel is that lack of confidence in your communication, like in English, right?
correct. Yeah,
So you can take your time, like notice what I'm doing now. I have an idea, but I don't have to rush into my idea. I can take my times, pace myself a little slower so that I'm a little more confident when I'm saying my ideas, right? That gives me time to
yeah,
think,
correct.
time to analyze. That's what I would recommend more. So you have the information, you have like your ideas, and if you don't, take your time, don't worry, so you can think of the message that you want to say. So I think it's using more the pauses and fillers, strategic fillers, you know? Do you understand what I mean?
So take it finish. I don't know what is finish.
Fillers, pausas y muletillas
Pillars.
estratégicas. For
Okay.
example, so that's a nice question. Hi, it's interesting that you mentioned it. That's a nice question. No dije nada, pero dije una frase que me da tiempo para pensar. Sí,
Mm-hmm.
es un strategic filler. strategic filler
Yeah.
phrase, right? You want to learn those. That's going to give you time to process, pero no decir, you know? So you
Yeah.
learn
Correct.
these type of phrases. You know, oh, let me think. I want to analyze that. Can you say that again to see if I got the idea? So there are a couple that you can probably have, you know, 2, 3 that are going to give you time to, you know, process, analyze, think. Do you get it?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Got it.
So I think
Got it. Got it.
that's my main concern is a little bit on you communicating more
Mm-hmm.
comfortable, more confident. Take your time. Don't rush. Don't rush. Uh, like be like communicate, but don't rush like the answer. Like you know, because then if you get stuck,
Mm-hmm.
this goes like and then you stop, and then you might feel like, you know, you're gonna feel
Mm-hmm.
like weird, you know, nervous.
Yeah.
So let me ask you just some
Okay.
questions, okay? So we just try to practice what I'm telling you. Um, what would be like some first steps once you get the position?
Okay. That's an interesting question. Uh, yeah. Once I get this position, what I will do is probably to uh, understand the processes, right? Understand the business. Yeah. Understand where the business is. Um, or the companies are under the ERP, because yeah, I think one of the first step is understand where we are, right? What what we are uh talking about. So I think we need to take some time to understand that, um to have some conversations or interview with key persons, just to understand what is need for the business, or the real needs for the business, the real strategic vision for the project, right? I think this is the first step. So then we can start working on that. Probably we need to define or prioritize that the requirements or the project. But uh, but yeah, it is something that we need to do after the uh, thorough understanding of the requirements of the needs, the strategic vision for the company in this project.
Okay, let me give you feedback on these.
How
Um,
sounds that?
like I said, you have the information, you are able to give me a response. I think how you're saying the answer has to improve.
Okay.
So for example, one of the phrases, more than I think, you said two things that I definitely give specific feedback. You say I think instead of saying I think, because you know what you want to be careful is with your opinions, and you know
Mm-hmm.
what's the best way. No,
Okay.
I'm sure this is going to be the best way. I think this might work. Do you
Okay.
understand how what's the difference?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got that right. Yeah.
This is how I
Yeah.
make things work. This is the process I follow. This is the methodology I follow to make things work, right? I think
Okay.
this might work. So be careful with those kind of phrases that sound more like an opinion than you being
Mm-hmm.
certain on what you have to do. Okay? That's one.
Okay.
You also said it like right. So you have like like you're imagine you're not I don't need to validate what you know. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know that you know. You're an expert. So this is what we have to do. Not
Okay.
right. You know, be careful
Yeah.
with those endings because it's like because como que yo sé
Hmm.
la respuesta y ¿será esto correcto? More or less
Trying to
that
validate.
can, yes, yes, that's what I felt in those 2 points, okay?
Okay, okay.
All right, so again, um, tell me about a project you worked on and something that like the most important thing you learned, from that project.
Okay, one of the interesting projects was the Concord implementation for the US and Canada, the US and Canada team. So it was for on 1,000 employees in the company. So I think it was important for me, or what I learned from this project was, um, the real importance to understand the business requirements, right? Because we had some delays because of that. Um, uh, the business didn't provide us the uh, the right requirements. We had to uh, involve different companies in this project. We were talking about uh, three or four companies. So it was challenging because all of them has different applications to manage the travel and expenses processes, and we had to align all of them and 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 also involve them into the project. I think that was challenging for us, and also the integration with the different systems, because when we are working with different organizations or companies in the group, so they usually or sometimes managing different applications to do specific processes. So we had to consider those different applications depending of the company. So it was challenging for us also.
Okay. All right. Another feedback. What I
Mhm.
listen, again, this is more in the how, right? I think you got the
Okay.
information. But one of the ways that you're communicating is that you're monotone. This is like there's no
Okay.
emotions, no up and down. So it was challenging, but we were able to be successful. We made a lot of money. It's like that's a goal. So you want to celebrate. You get it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's something if you add in your like the emphasis, the intonation in certain parts, you're gonna excite people. So we had a big challenge, and this was very, very difficult. I honestly didn't know how we were gonna be able to solve this because we had 1,000 employees in this new business that were traveling all the time. Even though we had all these challenges, I was able to find the right strategy with my team and implement this. So we were able to be successful. And that is one of the best things that happened in this project. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah. I got
That's
I got
that's
that
gonna
part.
make it that's gonna make the difference. So like I said, and it's a fact. I don't know if I shared it to you before. 93% of communication is nonverbal communication. So
Okay.
93% is not about the words. It's not about the information. It's how you say the things. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is something that I need to work on, not just in my English communication, but also in
in
my
your
normal
life?
communication. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it happens, but again,
Yeah, sure.
this helps you be strategic. I can, like I said, why am I recording you? So if you want, I can share these recordings and you analyze your communication.
Mm-hmm.
Look
Yeah.
at yourself and say, how does this sound? Confident, boring, interesting, powerful. Think of those adjectives you want to have in your communication. And then again, there's strategies to work on that. There's,
Yeah.
like I said, I do feel that you have the information. I do feel that you have a structure in the way that you give me what I need. The use of grammar and the words, I think it's appropriate you know
Okay.
so the
Okay.
thing I would like you is a little more to connect with what you're saying, through the emotion. You don't have to exaggerate, but
Mm-hmm.
understand how to use that, right? Because you're monotone, right?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I understand that part. Yeah.
Tell me about a time that that you felt really happy and satisfied with the team you had. Like, who were part of this team? How were they conformed, and why were you proud of them?
In the team. Yeah, I had a challenging project. Uh, that project was in Colombia. Also, it was for different cities in Colombia. Uh, and for that project, we had to implement SAP for uh, it was for 40, 45 stores around the country. So it was interesting for us because we really have a small team, right? I think I had probably during most of the the duration of the project, I had 5, 6 SAP consultants assigned to me, but also at the top of the project, um, the when we had some troubles and some issues in the project, we had uh, up to 11, 12 consultants assigned to that specific project, and it was a part of the technical team, the developer team, and the external team, the suppliers. But I think it was I mean, it was so interesting for us because with this small team, we uh, we achieved the implementation on time. The day that we committed with the business, and we had to travel for different cities to accompany the users to provide them some insights and additional trainings and things like that to do some things in the system with them. So it was also I was the manager, but I also had to do different things with them, to work with them in the system, to train them in the in the sales processes or in the logistic processes. So all of my team was involved in the project. I was absolutely committed to do that and to complete the project. So at the end, it was a successful project for us. The company recognized us for this project, especially to accomplish the dates. And and yeah, at the end of the business was running well with the system, after the stabilization. So it was so grateful for us, for me at least.
Better.
Sounds better. Okay.
It's getting better. And now you're conscious, right? You're conscious of, right? But I definitely recommend take time to think. So in this next question, I'm gonna give you time to prepare. So take some time to prepare the answer,
Mhm.
thinking of these things, because I know that it sounds like I get you on spot, but take time to prepare. Okay.
Okay.
And the conclusion, I liked it. I like that you included a conclusion. What I would add in that conclusion is, like, you say something like, in conclusion, uh being like experiencing this challenge with my team, even though we were a small team on a tight agenda, we were able to achieve this. And I learned that this, and this, like 2, 3 points. This is very
Mhm.
important when you're creating your team. It's very important to consider these three elements, when you're building the team, right? So
Okay. Yeah.
when you conclude, because normally I'm gonna listen to the first thing you say. Yes, I understand your story, but the last thing you say is the last thing I have, right?
On mine. Okay.
Okay. So also work on those, how you close, right? It's good. There's where you put your conclusion, right? But Keep that in mind, okay?
Okay, good. We can
Okay,
keep working on that.
so this is a strategic question, right? So based on the facts that you now gave me. So Alex, now that I mentioned you that we have acquired several businesses and now we want to, align all of these in one management system, streamline all the operations. How are you planning to how would you manage change within the different organizations and businesses? That's a good question.
That's yeah, that's a really good question.
So think
That's
about
an
it. Take your
interest.
time. Take your time. I'm going to give you like 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay. Uh yeah, the question is interesting because it is something that we need to plan, and sometimes we need to fit the strategic according to the to the business culture. It is not something that we had a plan and it fits for everywhere. So we need to adjust the plan. But initially, what I can do, my initial strategy or methodology, right, that I will use is, for sure we need to map all the processes across the company, right? Probably we have the main company with most of the processes already defined. So what we do, or what I did in different companies in the past was, okay, what is the main company, and try to align the small companies or the additional companies aligned to the processes that are defined in the main company, right? So it is what we do sometimes, but for sure we need to understand if it works for us, right? For real truth. Because at the end is we need to align first, understand all the processes, to have a mapped all the processes across the companies, and the specific processes for specific companies. We need to map all of them, right? And then define what is the best processes, one by one, that we can apply for the different companies. It can be a challenging for us because the culture is different in the companies. Um, Probably we need to have some change management in this kind of processes, because the people is aligned with the processes that they are doing during the last 2, 3, 4, 10 years. So sometimes it's complicated for them to change their mind, but it is something that we need to work on with the change management processes. But yeah, but at the end, we need to align the processes and try to define, okay, this process can be applied for this and this and this and these companies. And then we are uh, organizing those end-to-end cycles between the companies. For sure, some of them will keep specific process and special changes or difference or variants of the process, but we need to have them mapped. And also we need to keep in mind the different applications that are involved in those processes. I don't know if I answer well your question, or
How do you feel? How do you feel you answer that question?
uh, again, I can prepare it a little bit more. Yeah, but at the end, what I try to say is, okay, first we need to see what are the general processes, what process is applied for what company, and then try to move the different companies into the same processes. Is what I try to say.
Yeah, like I said, the information, I know you have it. maybe organizing your ideas, you know, and that's again, that's why I'm like recording, getting to understand your ideas. But probably I would definitely go over the same questions and practice how I start the answer, how I develop the answer, and how I conclude the answer, right? So you're giving it a better structure and then practice saying them. Maybe the same, maybe it's going to
Okay.
be the same, but just saying them
Mm-hmm.
again and again is going to help you feel confident. You know, repetition is what helps us feel confident. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's talk
When you
about
say
tell me.
when you say take your time, is I have the doubt. What's better when I'm in a real interview? Yeah, I didn't. I can take some time, but I don't know. Sometimes is 5, 10 seconds.
Yes,
Uh,
yeah, that's why I'm saying, look, so let's clarify. When I say take your time, I'm meaning 2 times. Now I'm saying take your time between before the interview to rehearse the
mhm,
answers, right? Rehearse is okay, Axel gave me this, I said this, so I have the answer.
mhm,
Rehearse is repeating saying it. That's what I'm saying. Invest time in rehearsing and repeating, right? The other thing I said before was okay, when you answer, again, why did I say take your time is because okay, think of it, but how do I do this different? You know, you ask me a question and say, okay, so what I understand from your question is how to optimize better the change management within the organizations. Is that right? Okay, so that's an interesting question because what I've done in the past that has worked and what I learned, you know, from working on different projects is doing this. Let me tell you a short experience. You know, with this previous project, we had 1,000 employees. So I'm using a little story, right? So uh
mhm,
when we were analyzing how to solve that problem, we had these two options. But we went back to the method. We went back to this process. We went back to this principle, right? And that's how we were able to solve that. So in conclusion, stick to what has worked. Don't try to reinvent the wheel, and that's going to
mhm.
help you, you know, go through. And then I go back to the answer. Do you get it?
Okay. Yeah. Get it.
So
That's
that's what I'm
okay.
saying. The first thing I said, those two phrases allowed me to think.
Mhm.
That's why I mentioned have phrases, strategic filler phrases that give you that time to think in the answer, right? But of course, this preparation
Okay.
helps you rehearse and be prepared on what you're going to say, you know, so then you're just going to organize it again based on whatever question or however they answer. You know, that's what I mean on
Mhm.
time. Got it?
Yeah. Got it. Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
So now, what are some questions you are going to ask?
To the interviewer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Some questions that I always do to the interviewer.
How are you going
Yeah.
to call the
According.
interviewer? How are you going to call
Uh.
to create rapport, right?
Mm,
So Axel, can I call you? I don't think people are like people like to be called by their name, right? So it's
mhm,
like if it's gonna be your boss, you know, normally you call him sir if that's your boss, right? But when you're
mhm.
working, so you can say, okay, I don't know, Alex, can I call you Alex? So Alex, this is what I would do. You know, that's gonna help you create rapport, not just answer the question, right?
Uh-huh.
So Alex, I have a couple questions for you. I understand that the objective of this role is this, this, and this. Am I right? What would be another key objective? So Alex, what do you think this is gonna be? Do you understand? Not all the
Mhm.
time,
Yeah.
but mention sometime. If you're gonna ask many questions, you know, like from 10 questions, try to say his name 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Use the
Correct.
name
Yeah.
to create rapport. Keep that in mind. Okay. So again, practice asking questions. What would be some of the questions you would ask?
Okay, okay. I will try to put your strategy. So okay, I'm Michael again. Okay, Michael. So I would like to as far as I understand, the role the program manager will be in charge of create, define, and propose some different alternatives to align the processes across the company, right? So, but I have some questions for you in that way. So, for example, first of all, how many companies are we talking about? They have different businesses, or businesses are the same across all of them.
Okay.
This is one, right?
So we've acquired more, like we've acquired 7 companies. That's a lot, but but yes, we've acquired 7 companies.
So, okay, I think it's important just to keep in mind the you know the size of the challenge. Um, okay, and also all of them are located in the US, or how they are distributed to the
All of these are in the US. That's right.
okay, that's great. Um, what is okay, for now I would like to talk about this specifically the role that I will manage. So, um, do we have defined some KPIs for this role? I don't know how we are gonna evaluate the progress or the uh, success. No, the performance, or to evaluate the performance of the role.
Okay, yes, yes. We have defined different KPIs. Um, there are going to be different compliance metrics, and but what we want to have, or directly with me, if I'm the boss, I would be meeting with you at the start, probably every 2 days, definitely weekly. And the more I see your hands on the projects and on the team, I will give you more independence. But definitely weekly, bi-weekly then, and then monthly, we want to measure progress.
Okay, yeah, that's important to have frequent meetings related to that between us, just to make sure we are aligned on what what you're expecting from me, and also what I'm uh, feeling with the yeah, with the position and with the team, right? So I think it's important to have those meetings.
Right. Okay. Think of
Yeah.
think
Also,
on your next question. Give me 1 second.
okay. Sure.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. So Michael, I would like to understand how the team is structured. You know, how big is the team? It is located in the same place, or is it distributed in different countries, cities?
Sure. So our headquarters are in, I don't know, Arizona. Our headquarters are in X place, and yes, 40% of our staff works remotely, of the staff from this team. So, yeah, that's that's how we're going to be working. You're going to have a team that's going to be at the headquarters, and the other team is going to be working remotely.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because it can be challenging for us when we have distributed teams, especially if I have team in America and also in India, for example, because the different time zones can be
Mm-hmm. Yes, we try, even if we have teams overseas, we still want them to get or work on the same time schedule as we do. So I think it might be a challenge for them, but they accept those conditions.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yep, yep. Okay. So do we have defined some the timeline? Do we have some, yeah, timeline for the project already defined?
Well, initially we do have some dates in mind to be completing some stages, but definitely we would set this in on the onboarding of the team, the project, and your onboarding.
Can you tell me a little bit about the main stakeholders, internal or external stakeholders?
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me tell you about our the stakeholders on this project. So this person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are our different stakeholders.
Okay, thank you. Great, great. Uh, what else? I think those were the questions that we had in you had in your file yesterday.
Yeah, if you want to like close, I think a good question to close is like, hey, Michael, is there anything else I think you think I should know or I should be aware of, or maybe something I
Yeah.
should be preparing myself? Um, Something like that. Is there
Mhm.
anything else I should know?
That's a good question. Yeah, is there is something that I should prepare? Yeah, that's what you said, right? There is something that I should prepare.
Uh-huh.
That's a good question.
And it's
Is
good
a
to
different way to say. Is a different way to say. Okay, uh, can you provide me some feedback? Because if I say there is something that I can prepare, so you say, yeah, you need to prepare. I don't know. You just prepare for this project, or or yeah, probably you need to. I would like to have a second interview just to understand specific things. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it is a good way to have some feedback from them, right?
exactly, yeah. Yeah, so after you have
Yeah.
your set of questions, you close with this question, maybe reconfirm. So like, Alex, is there anything else you have to say? No, I understand. I think you have a great understanding. I am interested in this position and the challenge because this is something I've been looking towards. Keep growing, keep sharing the knowledge that I've uh, gathered throughout the years. So whatever you say to again emphasize those important skills, knowledge, experience, goals, your value proposition, and then go to also based on the information you have. I'm gonna start working on this, probably reviewing this information, and if they give you documents or whatever, study that. Okay, that's
Okay.
that's how you would close. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I taking some notes. Got it.
So things like I
Got it.
said,
Got it.
I honestly think you have the vocabulary, the words, how to express yourself, right? Um, my feedbacks are gonna be, probably like you maybe I think this is like being over prepared. It's like really prepare your answers for all of them and rehearse all of them, right? So if you have time, I would do that. The other option, if I'm limited in time, I would prepare 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 answers that are
Mm-hmm.
probably different, giving me a different structure. Like I said, how am I going to start? Am I going to give facts? Am I going to give a story? Am I going to give I don't know, showcase something that and how you're going to conclude. Rehearse that so you feel confident with that information. Sometimes you know that you have information, like you prepare one answer and they ask you something different, but you can use that information or that
But
answer that you prepared and adapt it to the other question, right? So it's never a bad idea to have something prepared. Your pitch,
mhm,
your methods, your goal, your objectives, your values, things like that. It's good to stay, right? Because it's like, I know that these values align with the type of company and culture I want to work with. I know that these goals align with the objectives and challenges of the projects that I want to work on. So it's
yeah,
always,
true.
that's something that shouldn't change. Or it's like, because I don't know, then if there's something that you're not really, you don't have, or you don't have experience on, or you don't want to learn,
Mhm,
then you're gonna overtake responsibilities and things that might become a problem later on. I don't know if you understand that.
mhm.
So yeah, there are things that you should like prepare, rehearse. Also, the other thing I told you is like try to put that time in, not only for this interview, for general your communication,
Yeah, for general communication. Yeah, correct.
become a confident bilingual professional. Also, take your time to respond. Like I said, pauses during your answer. But like what you said is true. You don't want to like just stay in silent, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Say something,
Mhm.
like those filler phrases, strategic filler phrases. What other thing? Yeah, I think those were my advices. Remember, work on intonation.
Mhm.
Understand how to use, like, if you're gonna use a positive intonation, a negative intonation, right? Not just like monotone, right? Because you're
Yeah,
speaking, you're
correct.
pronouncing good, but it's like that could be perceived like, I don't know, different ways people perceive that, you know? But that doesn't
Okay,
but definitely it
got it.
doesn't sound like a confident person, right? If you're gonna be a team leader, if you're gonna be executing, you want to know, okay, guys, so we have to get things going, so I want to talk a little bit faster in certain parts. And in other ones, when I'm trying to be a little more analytical, I might slower my pace, emphasize on some things, practice that, play a little with that. That's more or less, you know.
Okay, yeah, 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 correct. That's a good point.
So what else do you think?
You had you had take some training for that or just
Definitely I have, of course.
yeah, yeah. How
Yeah, yeah.
how you did that?
Well, I think it started when I was maybe 16, 17, that I understood
Uh-huh.
I had problems communicating. Like I told you, it's true. I couldn't communicate in English or in Spanish. So for
Yeah,
example,
yeah, correct.
I knew the answers to many things, sometimes in classes, in different spaces, but I was never able to have my voice. I knew the answer, but I
Uh-huh.
always like said the answer in a low voice, and that was
Okay.
all the time because I don't know, I was afraid of raising my
Mm-hmm.
voice. I was afraid of maybe being exposed, so I noticed that I had many problems in communication and communicating in different, even in both languages. So that I
Yeah,
said
yeah,
I have
correct.
to start training myself, start understanding why I communicate like that. So there was, I don't know. I did have like some kind of therapy, but also personal development and coaching. And then I started to
Mm-hmm.
understand, when I started working with teaching English to professionals. I don't know if I told you, I started with Berlitz. So I had
Mm-hmm.
to work
Yeah.
with the needs of executives, these professionals, and I like to
Okay.
take those kind of courses. So again, it's based on my personal development training, learning how to communicate better, learning how to communicate in a more impactful way, powerful way, and also copywriting. So that's another skill that I write a lot, So yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I can start. I
So tell
can
me,
start with
anything
that.
else you wanna for today, or I think you have specific tasks and things to focus on?
Yeah, I have a specific task. Yeah, I will think about that. I will practice what you say. Just
Okay.
to recap. So I will practice the intonation to sound positive, the positive way, the negative way, to sound more confident, or if I wanna sound more analytical. So okay, it is what I will do because the business requirements are defined according to this or that process. So I try to sound something like that. And what else? You said the intonation, the voice, the managed voice. Uh, Prepare some questions, prepare some
Answers.
answers.
Yeah, the W is silent in answers.
Uh, okay, answers. Some answers. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Cool, Jairo. So tomorrow in the afternoon, right? Probably like 5:36.
Yeah, I think yeah, tomorrow probably 6 will be okay.
All right, perfect. All right, brother. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay, see you, man. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Have a nice weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks.